What is happening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here as we are nearing the end of this album with King Crimson. But before we near the end, we have to reach the near before the end, which is going to be the title track starting off side 2 of the album, Starless and Bible Black. So before we dive into this track and the next track as well, I don't know, because I don't know, it's not like there were song titles. When I saw King Crimson live a few years ago, I have no idea if any of these two tracks are tracks that were played. So it's very possible I could have heard these two before if they played it, but I have no idea. It's not like I would recognize it if they did play it because I haven't heard it. So just to throw it out there. But that's it. Let's go and listen to the track Starless and Bible Black. It's an instrumental. Let's see what they do. Here we go. Tight drumming. Let's talk about the title track. All right. I really want to talk about this. I really want to talk about this. Okay. Starless and Bible Black. So let me give you the summary of my thoughts, and then we'll dive in deeper. I'm probably never going to listen to this track off camera on my own again. If I was listening to the full album, I would never skip it. I also think that this is probably the best improvised, I'm assuming this is improvised, the best piece of improvisation that I've heard from King Crimson, period, so far. So I have a lot of mixed things I'm saying, right? Here's what I mean when I'm getting to this. I do really believe that this is the best piece of improvisation that I've heard from the band. I think it's extremely coherent, very cohesive. There's a lot of atmosphere, of course, that's being built up in the first half, and boy, is it the first half at 4 minutes and whatever odd seconds. It's just building up, building up. And it comes from the quiet corners, the dusty areas of the room, and it fully comes into the light in a brilliant fashion that has all of the band members excelling at 110%. And I really love that explosive quality of the track. It's like a slowly foaming at the mouth volcano that just erupts Vesuvius style there. And then at the end, just for a tail bit, it drifts back off into La La Land. I think that that is sensational. I think that this makes so much sense, and I think that is very worthy of being the title track on the album with how creative it is, I feel. Personally, you guys see, of course, me on the reaction video, haha, funny Justin. But a lot of times I do take the songs I listen to here and go off and listen to it again on my own. Or if we listen to an album here, if I enjoyed it, I go and listen to it on my own, blah, 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 right? I know I'm not going to listen to this again. I'm telling you, I'm probably not going to listen to this again. However, that comes with a big ol' asterisk, okay? And the asterisk, if you go to the bottom of the paragraph, says, I would love, with a capital Love, to see this performed live. I will never listen to the studio cut, but if there's a live version of the band performing this piece, I would love to see it. If King Crimson reforms, because I believe they're kind of done now, but if they reform or do something and they come back to this side of town, I would really enjoy to see them playing this piece of music. Because this, to me, lives and breathes in a live environment. For the band, when they created this, I'm assuming that this was created in studio, I can just imagine it was probably a quality kind of like Talk. Like how, maybe they're in a darkened room, a few candles, a few, notes or whatever, courtesy of Miles Davis in a sense, and then they just kind of go off. I would love to see that kind of energy brought to a live stage performance where we, the audience, can in a way see that kind of improvisation, because obviously now they have the track, but I'm sure they're still going to kind of bounce ideas off of each other musically. And I think that would be just a joy to watch these musicians, these masters at play, because that's what this is to me, masters at play. But I'm probably not going to sit down and listen to this again, but I would love to sit down and watch them again. There you go. That's that's how I feel. I love the bit where the Mellotron snuck in, courtesy of Cross. Of course, you get more of his violin later. You get a very suspenseful tension in the beginning, but then all of that just leads into this big explosion. Bruford's drumming, I think, in here is sensational. It's so cool how he's able to kind of out of nowhere come up with this groove and put everything into this box. because Crimson are not a band to be boxed, you know? But somehow he's able to maneuver and play in that. He does sensational. Obviously, Fripp, he brings a certain beauty, but also a certain kind of, again, suspense, a spookiness, a tension, a horror, terror element into everything. And then Wettin on the bass, I think, is kind of underrated here because he's putting a lot of decent rhythm and melody work into everything here. Kind of like, I would say, in the same realm as Bruford, kind of pulling the strings behind the scenes in a way, as often a bass player does. But yeah, I think this is a great track, but I'd really, 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 really prefer to hear and watch this live. So yeah, that's where I'm left. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. Follow me over on Twitter, support the channel on Patreon. Thank you so much for being here and for listening, and I will see you all tomorrow, guys. Bye.